What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to CM Aviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today we have the February 2025 Pensacola International Airport update for you all. I hope each and every one of you are excited for this. It's been a long time since we've got the film and Pensacola update, so really excited to dive into plenty of news and definitely a bunch of changes along with several brand new routes to talk about. So we're really excited for this, and there's definitely a bunch to dive into as we're definitely going to be getting to the peak season here very soon. But nevertheless, let's not waste any further time and go ahead and get started. Right there on the far side, we have the Delta Connection Bombardier CRJ900 for Endeavor. This aircraft's currently coming in from New York LaGuardia and is going to be heading back out there. This route's been really fun to watch, so really glad to see it be successful so far. It's also worth noting that the Saturday-Sunday service to Boston will start on April 19th, so very excited for that. It only looks like it'll be for a few weekends, which is pretty interesting, but nevertheless, it'll be a nice abnormally to add to the airport. So very excited for that, and that'll be really fun. So we'll definitely have to see what happens with that when we get there. So stay tuned for that, no doubt about it. Our next aircraft is going to be this Delta Airlines Boeing 737-900ER coming in from Atlanta. All kinds of aircraft can be found on this route. However, this month, mainly the 737-900. So great to get the feature here as usual, and overall it's looking really strong. So definitely glad to have it here today as we speak. Our next aircraft is going to be this Frontier Airbus A320neo. This is Sunny to call it Lizard. This aircraft is currently coming in from Denver today, and now it's going to be heading back out there. Unfortunately, it looks like Denver is now the only route once again. It only took one season for our previous routes to go dormant. Cincinnati is not on the schedule, which is very unfortunate, and then obviously the other two routes that they started, I think those were Cleveland and Philadelphia, already bit the bullet as well. So pretty unfortunate, as I did really like what they were trying to go for with those. I just think they overflew them a little bit. A couple of them were 4 times a week, and that's just simply too much. So the Frontier network planning continues to be a mystery, but nevertheless, we continue to follow along no matter what the case is. So we'll continue to rock and load no matter what. So that is currently what we have there for Frontier. Next aircraft is going to be the Spirit Airbus A320neo. This aircraft is currently making a flight today, coming in from Fort Lauderdale, and now it's going to be heading out to Orlando. Spirit, for just a few weeks, added some seasonal services, which is very cool. So you'll be seeing in the next couple months Dallas back for the 3rd time. You'll also see Nashville. I believe we also have, it was Detroit and Chicago. Yeah, those were the 4. So it'll be very interesting to see those back, but nevertheless, pretty interesting for Spirit here to add just some really temporary changes. I think Dallas, though, is coming back starting in May, so that's definitely exciting to have them back on that for the 3rd time, but we'll see how it really turns out, but the others will be just for spring break here. So nevertheless, we'll continue to follow along, but it's certainly been fascinating at the very least. This will be the last month without major Southwest change. We'll have some really big changes over the next couple months. This 737-700, though, is coming in from Dallas Love Field, and now it's going to be heading over to Houston Hobby today. So looking strong for those, along with Nashville, and next month we'll have plenty to talk about as we have a bunch of returning services, of course, for their respective seasons, but most of them are coming back early this year. So very excited to discuss that once we get there. So certainly staying tuned for those movements, no doubt about it. Also, you'll notice new jet set model aircraft and ground service equipment and people throughout this airport update. This is a really good example here with these various passengers getting ready to board the Silver flight, and can't thank jet set models enough for continuing to make these airports even more realistic. And very excited for efforts of additional companies as well, such as, of course, 3D Design Deck, excited to get their aircraft, and also looking to get some tiny, I think it's Tiny Designs. I'm forgetting the exact name, but obviously they have ground service equipment too. So excited to continue to sprinkle it all in. It all goes really well together. Nevertheless, we have the Silver ATR-42. This aircraft's coming in from Tampa and heading out to Orlando, which now both have competition. They once did not. So Silver is struggling a little bit. They did file for bankruptcy, but hopefully they'll be able to pull out of it. As far as I'm aware, they're still good to go for the moment. So we're definitely going to feature them here in the meantime. You can also find some variation here for American Airlines. We have 2 Airbuses here. This Airbus A319 is coming in from Charlotte Dulles today, which is the main line is going strong, and we'll have more main lines as we continue to move down the road. So that's certainly exciting, and it's looking like American's definitely going to have nice capacity here to continue to help out the numbers here at Pensacola. So certainly very excited about that. So great to see the main line continuing to go strong there for American, unlike Destin, which actually lost it for a couple months, but it should be back as we speak. And then we have the American Airbus 320 right here, and this aircraft is currently making the flight today, heading over to, I guess I got them backwards. The 319 need to go to Dallas. This 320 is going to Charlotte, which remains strong as well. Dallas is seeing multiple main lines, whereas Charlotte's seeing just the one daily until I think it's April when we pick that up. So yeah, certainly exciting and definitely eager to see what happens next as we continue to move forward. We also have some parking variation, as you can see over here. United has been using gate 1 more, which makes sense, and they're going to be adding even more frequencies here, so they're definitely going to need it. And it's also worth noting that they'll be finally picking up that Denver service consistently again. It will be mainline daily during the summer, so that's super exciting. So they'll be joining Southwest on that, and then obviously we have our other mainline services here, so this is definitely really cool to see all this United mainline here. But we'll start here gate 3 with the 737-800. This is the Chicago flight today, which the main lines continue to go strong. We have our 1 daily flight to Chicago, and then our Houston flight, which can be found here at gate number 1. This is, I haven't seen American parking at near as much. I think United's actually using it, and I think American's been popping over to the Frontier gate on the overnights is how they've been managing it. But anyway, here at gate number 1, we have the United 737-800 Evo Blue, and this aircraft is currently coming in from Houston today, where we're going to see a bunch of variation over the coming months of different mainline aircraft. So yeah, it's certainly been really cool. They're also doing what they're doing at Tulsa coming up here in a couple months. Instead of them having an earlier evening arrival from Houston, there'll be a 175 that follows this mainline aircraft now. So that'll be interesting to sample. I'm going to be eager to see if it's like Tulsa's or if it's going to be different, but nevertheless, that'll be very fascinating to see how that goes. So yeah, eager to see how that rocks, but nevertheless, very interesting to see what's going on over there, and overall looking really strong there with the mainline offerings. Let's go ahead and take a look at this McConnell KC-135, which is heading back to McConnell Air Force Base. So very cool to get to see it here. Ultimately a very strong asset, so really happy to see that going strong right there. And you can also find this Breeze Airways Airbus A220-300 heading over to Tampa, and very excited that Breeze will continue their commitment here at Pensacola, as they'll be starting nonstop service to Raleigh-Durham beginning on May 9th. So that will definitely be a very interesting route to see how that one performs. They'll also have Breeze through service to Hartford, Connecticut. So very interested to see how that's going to go here. I think that should do pretty good. I mean, Raleigh's definitely a high served market, and they have a bunch of service to the other places in Florida, but not very much to anywhere near here. And I don't think Raleigh has any service to Destin at all either. So this should really be a pretty big hit. So hopefully they advertise it well and it turns into exactly that. But we'll continue to keep our eye on it. But nevertheless, that's certainly going to be interesting to watch. This shot's really cool here with the 175, and then all of what's going on in the background. That's been a setup that I've been hoping to have for a long time. We're finally getting there, so really exciting. But let's start right here with this American Eagle ERJ 175. This is coming in from Miami, and now is making the flight today out to Washington National. We'll have Chicago service on Saturdays and Sundays this summer. As of right now, we'll see how that progresses. And then I believe there was one more route. Philadelphia will return in April. So we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on that for American, but they continue to go strong with their current offerings. So of course, we love to see that. This is a really cool shot. And once again, been just dreaming of being able to see this, and it's so cool that it's finally coming to fruition. So just all of the various assets here. Let's just go ahead and take a look. This is so cool that we're finally getting to this point. You know, obviously we had some GA previously, but with the cones, and now you can see actual passengers, which in this case I'm using as actual pilots and so forth. I just think it's really cool. So starting right here with this King Air 350, this aircraft's actually going to be making a flight over to Mole Charles, which is really exciting, as Contour picked up that EAS service, and that will be Wednesdays and Saturdays starting in March. So that will be really cool to have another very cool carrier there. They'll fit in really good with Spirit. I would think they're going to park them at the gates, although I have no idea. So we'll have to see how they go about that. That'll be really interesting, but I'll go ahead and park them at the gates for the next several updates that I'm pre-recording here, and then we'll make adjustments as needed. But nevertheless, that'll be really cool to have on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Very interesting days and choices there, but they will now be serving that. So very eager to see how that goes. So yeah, here it is, the King Air, and this aircraft is currently, like I said, making the flight up in Mole Charles today, and came in earlier from Panama City. So a very short flight right there. You're also going to find right here this Gulfstream G650ER, and this aircraft's currently making a flight today out to Washington Dulles and came in earlier from Keelan, Texas. So definitely cool to get some nice variety there. Got some these helicopter pilots walking in from this UH-60, and this aircraft is currently just getting ready to do some local circuits around the area. So yeah, these are really cool to get the feature. I'm so excited about the progression here on this, and overall looking really strong. So yeah, very excited for our upcoming new routes, but definitely cool to highlight some of these other movements in the meantime. So that's definitely really exciting. And then lastly, I know the light's not perfect, but in upcoming updates, I'll show it a little bit better because the mat's here, so it's kind of tough to move it. But here is a very nice load of new GSE for cargo. This is from Jet Set Models as well, so really happy with this. And at the bigger airports, you'll definitely see this mixing in with the GeminiJets and Fantasy Wings equipment. And I'm sure there's a couple other manufacturers like Tiny Tugs Designs, I think it's Tiny Tugs, I'm pretty sure, that you'll definitely see featured, but it's so cool to see all this ground service equipment, and the 3D printers have made quite the impact. So it's really fun to see, and overall it's absolutely awesome. But anyway, this UPS Airbus A300 freighter is coming in from Birmingham, Alabama, which has been a nice consistent route, and overall it's been really fun to watch. So definitely cool to get to feature that right there here in this Pensacola update. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and go over our new route segment. It seems like since the pandemic, this airport's been very good at obtaining new air service. So a huge shout out to Pensacola for making that a reality.
Hey everybody, so sorry I forgot to mention this in the actual video, but this is Pensacola's 6-year anniversary as I started this airport in February of 2019. So just want to give a huge thank you to everybody that's supported this airport over the last several years. It's crazy to think that we almost went to doing bi-monthly airport updates of Pensacola, and thank goodness for all the activity pickup and so forth, as this obviously has been a really cool piece of the channel and I've really enjoyed making it. So 6 years of Pensacola, really excited for 6 more amazing years, and beyond that it's going to be a great airport to feature here on the channel for a long time. And as you can see in this update, there's certainly plenty of fun changes, and it's always a nice consistent workhorse here on the channel for us. So happy 6-year anniversary Pensacola. I hope all of you enjoyed this video very much, and we have some more news to establish before we end, so let's go ahead and do that. But happy 6-year anniversary Pensacola, super cool, and of course we love to see it.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about all the upcoming new services. So again, Delta will be starting Boston for a couple of Saturdays and Sundays in April, so that'll be very fascinating. Unless if my schedule was broke, I'll be sure to check it before I film it, but nevertheless, that's what it looked like. And then, like I said, Spirit will have their spring break destinations, so we'll be sure to follow along with those in the next couple updates, so those will be fun to feature on a temporary basis. And for a more permanent basis, we'll have Breeze Airways starting in May to Raleigh-Durham, so very excited about that. And United starting to Denver, I think that's like May 23rd or so. As of right now, it will be a 737-800, and we'll obviously see how it progresses. But I believe it's year-round too, which is awesome. I didn't see any of the notes about it being seasonal, so that's super exciting. And I think that's all the routes I'm trying to think here, but I believe that is currently all of them. So very excited about those. May will obviously be a big month, but we have some fillers in the coming months here to get us to that point. So very excited about the new services here, and overall it's going really strong. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think it's certainly a very exciting time here at the airport, and I'm really excited for what's to come. And we'll definitely see what happens in the future with all the other carriers. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name's CM Aviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name's CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.